Anyone can have a gimme, but it really gets interesting when you go for two. The Go for Two podcast starting now.
All right, hello everybody. Back for episode number 17 from a deep, dark dungeon bunker thing in Middletown, Delaware. In spite of all the coronavirus.
Underground, that's the way to do it.
Oh yeah, we had to walk through hand sanitizer to come in this basement today, so we're all good. So, welcome back, everybody. It's been a couple weeks, and during these last couple of weeks, not other than the world events going on, we had a lot of NFL stuff that's going on. No sports on ESPN, which is kind of weird.
It is weird. They showing you got it down to the best college player over the past some odd years.
Dude, today on ESPN, man, they are running like 11 hours of UFC fights, the best of.
Oh, I know. It's absolutely pandemonium and craziness.
They got to find something to do, man.
I know you guys heard the voice. Nelson's back with us today. Go ahead and say your saying, man.
Man, peace and blessings, everybody. What's going on?
So he's back with us again today, man. Like I said, we might make him a regular. We really, our favorite episode by far was episode 16 so far. I think having three of us is a good flow. Me and Don, we could do it all day with each other, but just having a different perspective. You give us a different perspective on things, and we enjoyed that a lot from episode 16.
It's not just because he likes a different team, he gives us a different perspective, but the fact that the man played college ball and he looks at the game differently. That's what adds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, this is everybody's favorite couch quarterback, Dante, and of course, the man across me that needs no introduction, the stats guru, Don.
Thank you, sir. And the man to my left, the man, the myth, the legend, that's Nelson Drew.
Yeah,
Nelson
thank
Drew.
y'all. Appreciate them comments, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Glad to
This
be on the
has
show.
been real fun. So this might be a longer show today. It might run over a couple minutes than our usual hour. But we got to fit everything in that we can in this one episode because we got to give you guys something to listen to over this coronavirus. The next couple of weeks, we're all going to be on lockdown. So we'll make this one a special treat. This is a special episode, the COVID-19 episode. What if it was episode number 19? That would
Wouldn't that
Oh,
been
man.
freaky right there, man?
So we're going to go through the combine first, guys. How we're going to split this segment, we're going to split it by two. We're going to do two of our favorites that might be completely obvious to everybody. Give you a little perspective on why we like them versus why everybody else likes them. And then we're going to get into our two dark horses. Some people that you might have heard of, that you might not have heard of, that we think might make a splash. Maybe the next Tom Brady.
And we also split it up by each of us having different assignments of what part of the
I'll
team
go ahead
that
and
we're
let you
looking
explain that a little bit, Don.
for. Well, for me, for example, I was assigned the defense and the special teams.
Yes, and I was assigned the running backs and, of course, the O tackles, the O linemen, the big bellows.
Yep. And being the couch quarterback that I am, I was assigned the quarterbacks and the wideouts. So that's kind of how we're going to split this today. Give you the perspectives on those. I felt like having it in a control group like this, we could just look at one aspect and not everybody else's, and I can just focus on researching the guys that I'm researching without having to dabble in a lot of other stuff. We're not GMs, so we don't need to put all that pressure on ourselves. But
And this way we don't pick the same people.
yeah, exactly. We don't pick the same people because I know, collectively we might all agree on the same thing, which is fine. But to kind of give this, a little bit of glitz and glamour, we wanted to split this up. So I'll go ahead and start with the quarterbacks and the wideouts. And I've been harping on this guy for a long time. I think he should have been the Heisman winner. I actually talked to my dad earlier today, and we made even more cases of why he should have been the winner.
Yep.
And they don't have a quarterback in New England right now.
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
with the way that the guy has been going throughout his whole college career, Bill Belichick, this is the perfect prototype quarterback that he can mold into exactly the quarterback that he wants for the future. And that guy is Jalen Hurts.
all right. Do you see New England taking him in the first round? That's the question.
To be honest, man, I think they're like pick number 28 or something like that. To be honest, I think it would be an absolute pleasure for Bill Belichick to have somebody like Jalen Hurts. Just think about it, man. Being a freshman starting, then being in the Heisman conversation, winning a national championship, then being benched in the second half of the national championship game for Tua, who Tua is a transcendent talent, which we're not taking anything away from him, right? But having the perseverance the whole time, not being the it's all about me guy. Then the next season, sticking behind him and helping the young man develop. Then going to Oklahoma in another situation for Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley just gets all the goods, right?
Right.
But to go into a completely different system and be another Heisman hopeful, I can't say enough about the guy. I know he has his issues that could be cleaned up. Everybody says that, he's not the most accurate. But, man, if you watch the games, he was the best person on the field for any team in college football, in my opinion. He had a hell of a combine. Some of the strengths they're saying, he had a 38-4 record as a starter.
That's not.
Let's
bad.
not take this away.
That's
from
right.
Let's not
That's
take that
right.
lightly.
It's not. And, I'm talking to my dad today. It's one of those things that Tim Tebow, he gets a lot of bad rap, but the dude won.
Yeah, he
He
did.
won a lot of games. You can't
did.
take that away from him. Kind of the same situation I see with Jalen.
Yeah, but look at Jalen coming out as a dual threat also, and what are you seeing right now succeeding in the NFL?
RPO.
There you go, man.
Yep.
So-
RPO. And he knows that offense like the back of his hand. And give him enough credit, man. The dude has learned. We know Nick Saban's offense has changed around the players a lot. So learning about 3 to 4 different systems over his career gives him a real advantage
Yeah,
in the whiteboard room.
that's true.
He sat down with Steve Mariucci. I think it was Steve Mariucci. I think I was watching. And he was just totally impressed by the way that he could get on a whiteboard and explain everything from scratch. So dude knows the film room like no other, which is another total blessing for somebody to go ahead and pick this guy up. His broad jump was 125 inches. His vertical jump was 35 inches. And his 40-yard dash, we know that he won a lot of games on the feet for Oklahoma this year. But he's a smart runner. But he ran a 4.59. This guy's crazy, man. I can't say enough about Jalen Hurts, man. I love the guy. So I'm going to take him as my first favorite coming out. Now,
Good choice.
another name that you guys probably heard of, but he's kind of had an interesting situation because we know that Wisconsin is a run-first team
Yes,
all
it is.
day long.
Okay.
Quintez Cephas from Wisconsin kind of had a year that flew under the radar for Wisconsin, and with the passing game that he did have, I think he was in part of the Big Ten all team, and he had 59 receptions, 901 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He was averaging about 15 yards at reception.
Yes, he
Wow.
was.
Dude is dynamic. He's 6'1", 207 pounds. It's kind of that size that you want to see in a receiver. His 40-yard dash wasn't the fastest, but a 4.73. Dude bench pressed 23 times. So he's strong.
He is.
124 broad jump, 38.5 vertical jump. His cone was a 3-cone drill. I think he was like in the top 10 for the receiving class at a 7.2 seconds. So the dude has quick feet. His speed might be all ideal for a lot of NFL teams, but this is like, I know they said that he's a good backup and could become a starter, but I think you can plug this guy into a system where he wasn't getting enough reps, but when the guy was on the field, he was good.
I read some stuff about him just this past couple days, and from what I'm reading, they're thinking he could be a third or fourth receiver on a team, basically a possession receiver that he could probably start first year.
Oh, he's got for sure hands, man. That's for sure. So those are kind of like my two favorite picks. There's not a lot to talk about Quintez Cephas. He's a quiet guy. He's not going to speak a lot. And playing in a system. So this is so funny. I heard a story a couple years ago, just kind of related to his situation where he knew what kind of offense he was getting into when he went to Wisconsin. But I heard about a player that wanted to transfer from Georgia Tech when Georgia Tech was running a whole spread offense for like years and years and years, and they barely passed the ball.
Right.
And he was a receiver, and he transferred out because he wasn't getting thrown the ball enough. Then why accept the scholarship, my man?
It's called free education.
So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Nelson. He's going to go through his favorite running back and O-lineman.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to start with the O-lineman. Of course, running back's job is to follow the big mollies up front. So, and without them, we are pretty much nothing. You see a lot of running backs who take their linemen out to dinner because they block for them.
Yeah.
So one guy in particular, it just caught my eye. I actually watched film on him, Andrew Thomas. Now, remind you, at the combine, usually linemen don't do a lot of drills, but they had a new drill, and it's called the line screen pass. So basically what a lineman does is that when you get a screen pass, the linemen break out. They 1001, 1002, and they break out and they have to block in space. And this man did a wonderful job with that. And so that actually sees his feet and his agility and actually getting the hands on them.
So that would work well for like a Ron Rivera type of offense. Who runs a lot of screen passes like Christian McCaffrey. Right. Exactly. And so they like you have to be agile and athletic as a lineman. So he ran in the 40, a 5.2. He bench pressed 21 reps. That's 225 pounds. His VJ was 30.5 inches. Broad jump 109. That means he's long. He got those long legs. 3-cone drill. Yes, lineman. If you're listening, you have to do the 3-cone drill. He did it in 7.58 seconds. 7.5. That's not bad for a lineman.
For a lineman.
He's quick.
Right, and then he did a 20-yard shuttle in 4.6. Now watching his film. He has pancake ability, meaning that once he gets his hands on you, you're going down to the ground and you're not getting back up. He has that dog mentality. So most linemen, they get your hands on you and they kind of release and look at another guy to block. But once he gets his hand on you, he's driving you down the field, driving you in the bleachers. He would keep driving his feet. And also he's a bone crusher, so he will put you down on the ground and then release and get someone else. But in that case, you're not getting back up because he opens up the hole. He has good hips, so he turns just in case he has to do a sweep on the outside. So this man is very, very, very athletic for his size. And get this. So this is his measurements. His height is 6'5". His weight is 315. His arms are 36.5 inches long. That's the wingspan, fellas. And then his hands are 10 and a quarter. So if you look at my hands are probably small, but his hands would probably cover your whole face. All right. 10 inches long, all right, and that's
what
key.
They used to say about Brock Lesnar that he had the hands of like 2 lunch boxes.
Right. These are massive, man. So that's, and he even says it himself. I think I'm the best O tackle in the league, and of course, the O tackle position gets paid very highly for the blind side.
Look at Quentin Nelson from last year and what he did to that Colts offense, man.
Yep.
Jacoby Brissett, while he was healthy, being a Pro Bowler your first year. That was great. Quentin Nelson was one of those quiet guys that kind of had the same intangibles as this guy. But hey, man, if you can match your hype with your talent,
right,
and put in the work, you might be good.
Right.
Yeah, everything I'm reading, he is the best left tackle. Put him in that position coming out of college. Now, what are the chances he ends up protecting Tom Brady in Tampa?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Being out of Georgia, so he might get some looks down there because usually when you get drafted, you're coming from the school in that region. The recruits come there. So you got the Atlanta Falcons, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got New Orleans. So people in that region hear about his name, and they're the first recruits at the pro day. They're the first recruits coming to him at the combine. Now, of course, you got the big man up front, but you got to have a man that's going to run behind you. And my number one guy, my favorite is J.K. Dobbinson.
Dude, I drool over J.K. Dobbins, man.
Right.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. And so, of course, he's from Ohio State, the Ohio State. And let me give you his measurements before I get into his dynamic stats here. So, J.K., he's 5'9". All right, 5'9", that's a little bit shorter than me. He's 209 pounds, so he's a bowling ball. Okay, 209 pounds as a running back. It's
Absolutely.
Like thick rock and solid. Okay.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah. Exactly. And he's 29. His arms are 29 and three quarters. Hands 9.5. So you got to tote that rock. You got to hold that ball in 5 points of pressure, and his hands are big enough to do that. Now, he ran. He was a 2K rusher, not 2K as in the game. I'm talking about 2,000-yard rusher.
Yes, he was.
Okay, and he had 23 touchdowns. Right,
dude. The way that he didn't carry Ohio State, but he did his part.
Right.
And when he did his part, he did it well.
Right.
And that was very important to their success
Right.
this year.
And the man strong as an ox. He benched 225 23 times. As a running back, that is very impressive. That means you are willing to push the ball and drive the hole. Just in case you get tackled, you can push the pile as well.
I think what would benefit him if it, and I'm not sure. I didn't watch the tape as much as you did, but we'll see how his blocking ability is in the NFL with being that strong.
Yeah, and that's key. And that's key because one thing in the NFL, they will have you run the ball, but you do have to protect.
Well, what I liked about his numbers in particular, you mentioned the 2,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He averaged 6.7 yards a carry, and then when he was a receiver, he averaged 10.7 yards per reception.
Yeah, so the man has soft hands, and he knows how to.
Yes, he does.
He has a lot of yak with him. All right, that's yards after contact.
Yeah.
Now, when I looked at his film, and I'll pass it to Dom, but when I looked at his film, he breaks down angles, and he has breakaway speed. So with a running back, you have to know how to move in space, and once he gets in that space, he accelerates and he goes down the field. If you see the game against Clemson, he broke all angles with them. And
Dude,
remember,
his
Clemson is
down
fast.
the field vision is pretty insane.
Right. Yeah. So we also, as running backs, we have to one cut and go, and he has that one cut and go. He doesn't go east and west; he goes north and south. And tell you right now, everybody looks at him and say, "Okay, another Ezekiel Elliott," but no, he is his own man, right? He has the capability of Ezekiel Elliott, and he's going to surprise a lot of people. But he is fast, downhill runner, and it's hard to tackle that man.
Well, where do you see him going in the draft right now?
It's tough to say because I don't want to see him go to the Raiders. Because with the Raiders, they're not going to run the ball.
Right.
They're not
They got
successful.
Josh Jacobs too.
Yeah.
His
So,
rookie of the year.
but I honestly think he's going to end up being either a Raider or he's going to be let's see here, maybe a Miami Dolphin. So
Do you see him falling like in the second round?
no, I think he's going to be in the first round. I think he's a
Okay.
first rounder because
Gotcha.
of Ohio State and Ezekiel Elliott, and he kind of paved the way for
Okay.
running backs. And usually, have you seen the last couple drafts, running backs went pretty high.
I can also see him going to the Washington Redskins. I don't think Geist is going to be healthy enough to carry that team. He has a lot of talent, but Geist just can't stay healthy.
And they got
And then that
Ron
Ron
Rivera
Rivera?
now. So
Right.
Ron
yeah.
Rivera offense, he'll do well.
Yeah, and I hope he gets it to his buddy, the Ohio State quarterback at Washington. I hope he goes there. But I just know some people might steal him. Before
Are you
that.
talking about
The quarterback.
what's his name?
Yeah,
Why
he
can't
was.
I think of his name?
Yeah,
right now?
I see his face, but he
Yeah,
was
I
there
know.
last year.
I see his face too because I saw a
Yeah.
video on the other day how he spent his first $1 million. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hopefully he gets picked up in the first
Dwayne
round.
Haskins.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins, and I'm sure Dwayne Haskins will say, "Come on, buddy, I invite you back." You know how we used to do in
He's
the old
already
side.
got Terry McLaurin there too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's 3 of his teammates, and Terry McLaurin was no joke last year, man.
No.
Remember, I was talking about him, but he almost reminds me of Quintez Cephas by the way that he puts a lot of yards after catch.
Mm-hmm.
When he catches the ball, like he makes the most out of every single catch. He did that with the Washington Redskins last year, but yeah, man, the 3 of them back together. I think Dwayne Haskins might be a little better this year, especially in Ron Rivera's offense because he's young and Ron
Yeah.
Rivera's gonna. He can mold him.
Yeah.
He just couldn't mold Cam
And Ron
Newton.
knows how to, adjust to a mobile quarterback. I mean, hey, he had Cam Newton for X amount of years, so he knows how to adjust, and I'm sure he knows how to develop that young man to be the best he can be in the
There's
NFL.
no pressure because Dwayne Haskins not as talented as Cam, so
Yeah,
exactly. You don't have to focus on the outside distractions with Dwayne as much as you had to with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's 4 down. 2 more
Okay,
to
here we go. No surprise here. I'm looking at linebacker right now, but this guy didn't only play linebacker. He played linebacker, safety, cornerback, and edge, and that would be Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Monster.
6'4", 238.
Mm.
Man, dude had 104 tackles last year, 16 and a half for a loss, 8 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 8 pass deflections. He did run a 4.39 40 also.
Oh, wow.
Last year, he played 200-plus snaps at safety and cornerback, 100-plus snaps at inside and outside linebacker, 71 as a pass rusher, and 17 at perimeter corner. So this guy can do it all.
I know, man. That 40 time was insane. So that means you can line him up against Quintez Cephas.
Yeah.
he gonna lock him down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This guy,
Theoretically,
man, I can see him going as high as number 4, but I see him as a top 10 draft pick.
I'm gonna just put it out there for everybody, man. I know we talked about Chase Young,
Mm-hmm.
but I like Isaiah a lot, man.
Yeah, I do too.
I really do. With all the intangibles that he has, as long as he can fit in the right offensive scheme, he might be just that monster, that fearmonger, like Aaron Donald almost.
Yeah, that's big steps to fill.
Yeah, because Aaron Donald's a beast.
Yes.
All right, moving on. I went with a D lineman for my next pick, and this might be pretty obvious too. Went with Derek Brown out of Auburn.
Okay.
Derrick Brown. Yep.
Yep. Last year, 55 tackles, 33 solo, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and they were recovered for pass deflections. This guy is 6'5", 326. He ran a 5.16 40-yard dash.
I think pass deflections is a stat that you really need to look at.
Yeah.
Imagine a third down pass
Uh-huh.
that's going
Get
straight
your
over the
hands up,
middle.
man.
Just that 2-yard crossing route.
Yep.
And you able to get your hand up, turnover on downs, or get that team to force that punt or that field goal that is going to keep you in the game. That's huge, man. JJ Swat.
JJ Swat.
Once again, I see him as a top 10 pick. I think he might slip down close to 10, but I see him going in the first round.
I see people talking
In the
about
top
him
10.
a lot, man.
Yep.
And I actually saw a couple games at the end of the season with him playing, and I know he was kind of one of the heart and souls of that defense. So, like I said, man, 2 great picks there. And those are pretty much our favorites from around the room.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into some dark horse picks.
Yes, the
Some
underdog.
people maybe you haven't heard of, and you were like, why are you talking about these people?
So we'll switch it up. I know we talked before the show, but we'll go in reverse order this time. So we'll start back with Don and then work our way around.
Okay. Here we go. Going to stun and surprise people here. I went with my first dark horse, a punter out of Arizona State.
Tell him, Don.
Yeah, Michael Turk. Now, this guy does have somewhat of a pedigree. He's a nephew of a 19-year veteran punter, Matt Turk,
Matt Turk, yeah.
and pro offensive lineman
played
Dan
him.
Turk.
Play with him in Madden.
There you go.
Coffin corner kicks.
This guy was he started at Lafayette College. He was second all-team Patriot League. He transferred to Arizona State.
Nice.
Sat out a year, of course. In 2019, he was Pac-12 first all-conference team. He forced fair catches on 20 of 59 punts. He had 32 inside the 20 and only 6 touchbacks.
He was part of that special teams that was doing well for Arizona State. I know that was one team we was looking out for.
So he had a decent season.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying stellar. You look at him, he might not be drafted. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Then came the combine. Okay. He runs a 4.79 40,
Whatever. And
not much.
Yeah.
But then they put him on the bench. 225 pounds. 25 reps. More than Jadeveon Clowney, DeMarcus Lawrence, Chandler Jones, and Michael Bennett.
So, DeMarcus Lawrence is known for his strength.
Yeah.
Think about that. A punter, and as far as the weight room goes,
Right.
is stronger than you.
Yeah, and also can make a tackle. You realize the punter, they have to eventually make tackles, and he will light you up.
This guy,
And he's fast enough to get down the field.
this
too.
guy did light up the combine that day. He was the media sensation that day. So just for that attention and that bench, I think he's going to go in the 6th or 7th round. He went from maybe not drafted to getting a spot. That's my first dark horse.
Cool.
Second one, I went with Javelin Guidry out of Utah, cornerback. He was 2 years all Pac-12. In his junior year last year, he played 13 games, 36 solo tackles, 12 assists, interception, 6 deflections. His father and uncle played at UCLA, so once again, he's got a family history. As a high school senior, he won the state title in the 100-meter dash.
How about that?
And in 2019, with the U.S. Winter Olympics, he was 6th in the 60-meter. Okay.
In the Winter Olympics?
That's how it was written.
Wow.
I guess the training that they were going through or the
Still
trials.
nothing to scoff at,
You
man.
know?
They're with the Olympians.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
kinda
mean,
like, what's your boy from San Francisco? The wide receiver. But I
Yeah.
mean,
digress.
Yeah.
a lot of the feedback is he needs work, he needs additional coaching, but then the combine comes along, and this speedster runs a 4.2940.
Ooh, that's fast.
He
That's,
got-
He's Goodwin.
yeah, that's super fast.
Super fast, 21 reps. So I think his potential, maybe a 4th round, more likely a 6th. But I'm talking a guy who might have hit 6th or 7th round at best, and now he's got a solid shot at being drafted.
Wow.
The speed brought him notice, and that's all they talked about that day was a 4.2940. So.
Two good dark horses, man.
Okay.
I know you got an offensive lineman and a running back that we're looking for as far as dark horses. Go ahead and surprise us. He didn't tell us pre-show who it was.
Right.
Yeah.
but-
Right. I want to tell you guys because these guys you probably never heard of.
All right,
Okay.
let me get my Google out.
So we got Yasir Durant. All right. Or Durant, excuse me. He's out of Missouri, O-tackle. Now, let me give you this big fella's numbers here. He's 6'6", 331 pounds.
Oh, my.
All right. 6'6", 331. All right. His arms are 34 inches long. Hands are 9.5. Okay. So in the 40, he ran a 5.5. Anything for a lineman in the 5s is decent. Okay. Realize that. And the man is 6'6". That's 5.5 coming at you strong. Okay. He benched 21 reps.
He's from Philly.
Yeah, he is.
And that's why I picked him. He's from Philly, right? He's just around a local kid, right? And his VJ was 25 inches. Now, to remind you, VJ is very important, okay? So a lineman that tall, that big, jumping a 25-inch VJ, that's decent.
That's
For
that's
that
power
size?
straight from your hips and your legs.
Heck
man.
yeah.
Yeah, so he has explosion and power, and he has release. Now, he reminds me of the O-tackle that Redskins had. His last name was Penn. So he's not really good on his feet, but once you trying to get around him, he's like a tree. It's hard. It's hard to get around him. He's a big fella. All right, and he came out of Missouri, and of course, Missouri is that tough conference. They just went from actually in the SEC, so he knows how he has competition, and he's played against great defensive tackles. All right, that's my dark horse for O-tackle. Don't sleep on him. I do see him going later on because of his feet work. You have to be mobile as O-tackle. So
It looks like he was a JUCO guy, like Arizona Western College.
Right, exactly. So that's another thing I was going to mention. So he's come up in the ranks, and he's humbled in the fact that he's even gotten this position. So once he gets here, he's hungry. He wants it. All right, he's come a long way to get to this point.
This guy was behind Drew Lock, who is a NFLer that we really like
Right.
from the Broncos, guys.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
he was blocking for him at one point.
Right, exactly. So big fella. Okay, so now this guy right here, I am going to represent the MAC in this. Okay, the MAC is the Mid-American Conference. He's my running back. He's my dark horse. Okay, all right. Shout out to Eastern Michigan. But this guy's name is Levante Bellamy. Okay, Levante Bellamy. Remember that name. Okay, this dude is a speedster. Now his 40 time doesn't show it. He ran a 4.5. But he's getting compared to Dre Archery out of Kent State. Now, if you remember,
Trey Archer?
Yep. Now, if you remember, out of Western Michigan, there was a guy named Greg Jennings. As you know, he played for the Green Bay
Greg
Packers.
Jennings.
Yeah, right. And I believe he had a great seasons with them. Okay, and he won a Super Bowl. So, just for a little bit of numbers here, bench press 16 for 225 pounds, 16 reps. His VJ is 39.5, broad jump 125 inches. Now, he is only 5'9". He only weighs 192 pounds, so he's light. His arms is 30 inches long, hands 8'5". Now, this is the guy I see at short yardages. If you look at the film, maybe this is a little knock on him because in Mid-American Conference, the competition is a little lower, but it's still elite. So he's good in short yardage. He's more like a third down back. He would get you that first down. But as you've seen in the Super Bowl runner-ups in San Francisco, that's all they ran is RPO, and that's what's getting hooked on right now. And he will be perfect for RPO. And he's lightning fast. So You see the 4.5, don't let that deceive you because he is great in open field. You are not going to catch him. So that's why I had the comparison. Another another MAC guy, Andre Archery. The man can get downfield. He can return punts for you, punt return. He can get in open space. He do a reverse, do a jet sweep. This man is going to be lightning in the bottle, and I don't see him going in the first 3 rounds, but he will be a steal later on in the draft.
He's one of the older guys that are in the draft. He is a 5th-year senior.
Yeah.
At 23 years old, so he'll be one of the older gentlemen that are going to get drafted. Not more like Chris Winkie.
No, like 20. Chris Winkie was like 26.
Yeah, had played in the MLB or for a minor league team or something, and then got drafted. But yeah. I just wanted to put that out there. So, hey, man, that's 2 good dark horse picks to look out for from the running back and offensive lineman side. Mm-hmm. The guy was averaging 5.5 yards a carry, like you said. That's absolutely insane. Yeah. That's what you want to average around in college, like 5 to 6 yards to be like a well-known running back. And then the NFL, you want to have around 4 yards a carry. Mm-hmm. So he's well on his way to become a good prospect for us when he gets drafted. Now, I want to start with my wide receiver first.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy, Mike Norvell, that came over to the Florida State Seminoles from bringing Memphis to be one of the top schools.
Yes.
Yep. Molded this young man to be, they were calling him like the Human Torch or something. Antonio Gibson from Memphis, man, he ran a 4.39 at his combine.
Nice.
Ooh.
He was a big, intricate part of why Memphis was such a great school. Going to a bowl game, being one of the top 25 schools from like the last couple years, man. They're really shout out to Mike Norvell as well. He was really molding this guy to be a good player here. So his bench press was 16 reps. Okay.
Yeah.
He's pretty strong. Now, these are some of the strengths that he has. He makes explosive plays in running, receiving, and return game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a triple threat. Jet sweep over the middle as a slot receiver, and in your punt return and kick and return games. He's versatile. That's one of the things that Mike Norvell said that he wants to do for Florida State, and make us a special teams good team first before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see this in this guy. Runs much faster than he looks. That's what a lot of the combine guys say. He doesn't look as fast until you run the clock on him. But his weakness is that he only had 1 season of production. All right? And in that season, 38 receptions, 735 yards.
Nice.
Okay.
19 yards, 0.3 average on his receptions. That is the number that stuck out to me why I circled this guy to be a dark horse.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Off of those 38 receptions, he had 8 touchdowns.
Nice.
33 attempts at running, 369 yards, 11.2 yards a carry, and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
This dude needs to go to Ron Rivera's offense quickly.
Right.
These are the stats of why I circled this guy just off of 1 year production. Being a senior, so he was sitting behind a lot of guys for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But this could tell you, this could be a prospect guy that can learn from the top guys, the AJ Greens, the Julio Jones people of the world. He could be a good wide receiver.
You know, I remember when he played against SMU. That game was going back and forth, but he held the glue. I think he had a touchdown on the sideline. It was a reverse, and he had a touchdown pass that game too. But yes, he is a solid rock. He will actually make plays for you in the NFL. And I know who you're talking about because I remember that game vividly. Mm-hmm. I said, who was this cat on Memphis, number 14? I said, who is this guy? Like, he looks very fluent and look composed. He looked like he was a leader of that team. Like when he walked in the room, everybody stood up and understood exactly what he was talking about. But yeah, his play showed exactly where he needs to be. He needs to be that third receiver or that second guy who catches the ball in the middle of the field, like Antoine Bolden.
Yep.
You know, that type of player.
Bolden,
Yep. So yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah. His stats, when you look at it in the short time, and in his first year that he played, he had 6 receptions, 130 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
3 rushes for 97 yards and a touchdown. Ooh,
Right,
my
guess-
goodness.
Now,
That's disgusting.
now remind you, SMU was ranked. You
Yeah.
know, they were good this
that
year.
was one of Don's
Yeah.
teams that he
Yeah.
was watching.
I
for
know.
the
Yeah.
whole year.
So that was a great game.
Yes, it was.
So that's my first dark horse pick. I think, you know, with all the stats and stuff, everybody can say, hey, this might be a guy to look out for. Didn't make a lot of noise at the combine, however. Now, if I had to make a prediction on who's going to the Patriots, not only did I think that Jalen Hurts was a good pick,
He already got them matched up.
but I think that he would be a good fit for the Patriots as well. And this is one of Don's guys that he took a look out at. So he might need to reiterate some stats that he saw before his season started. But Jacob Eason, I think, could be one of those dark horse guys that might be under Jalen Hurts or could be under, what's his name, Brian Hoyer, to be developed into a great quarterback later.
Okay.
He ran a 4.8 as his 40-yard dash. Not the fastest of the fast,
definitely
but
not the
running
fastest.
anything under a 5. This is why I think this, and circle that, because I think that Bill Belichick doesn't really like scrambling quarterbacks like that anyways. He's
Mhm.
going to be a pocket guy for you,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
I'm glad you said pocket guy because he's a typical quarterback.
Yeah.
He's 6'6".
yeah, and this is this is the mold of Drew Bledsoe also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they looked at his strengths, the strapping pocket passer prototype.
Yep.
His frame and arm strength excite a lot of evaluators as well. But some of the things that they say were weaknesses, his deep drop backs and his pass protection, or hurt his pass protection. So, you know, we saw that a lot at Washington this year as well. When they got down to the end of the game and he had to make that long throw, it wasn't the tightest spirals ever in the world. But hey, if anybody could clean that up, it could be Bill Belichick and his
That's
his
true.
crew.
Yes.
His NFL comparisons, man, is not anything to scoff at. The very first guy that they mentioned him being. And just to put this out here, I think that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. If you go and look at his career. Not Jacob Eason, but the guy that
yeah,
they're comparing him to.
Okay.
Carson Palmer.
Okay.
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 They're comparing him
I
to
can see
Carson
that.
Palmer.
I can see that.
And then they also have / Brock Osweiler. Whatever. Throw that in the garbage. So those are my 2 dark horse picks, man. You know, go and watch the tape on Jacob Eason. His intermediate throws are excellent. I'll let Don talk a little bit about his road up to be at Washington because he was one of the guys that he was looking at the beginning of the season. Didn't he play for a JUCO school at first?
Yes, he did.
And then he came to Washington and he won out the starting job.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple other things. I think Don got his notes.
I got my notes
Let's
out,
go.
man. All right. Let's see. This is back when we were talking about games to watch and stuff. I had some stuff on Jacob Eason, and they had a pretty favorable schedule. He played 2016 and 2017 for Georgia. He was redshirted in 2018 and then played for Washington last year. I don't have a lot of specifics other than the fact that I didn't have a lot of his numbers.
Just put it like this: that he had a hard road to get to be a starter.
Yeah, he
that
did.
Washington coaches did not make it easy on him. They didn't say, "Hey, you play for Georgia and you think that you're gonna come here and
Yeah.
be this quarterback."
He had to
won
win
out
the
starting
job at Washington. He really did. I mean, it wasn't just handed to him.
I mean, the man had over 3,000 yards passing his senior year. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's no sneeze when it comes to the college football game.
No. Think about the high-powered offense that Washington State has, and you know, having your boy Minshew in Jacksonville right now. They had kind of had a sniper scope on them, and their quarterback threw for like 8 or 9 touchdowns in the game this year, didn't he? For Washington State.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about him, but
Right.
hey, that was one of them games I was like, holy crap, this dude just keeps throwing touchdown passes. So that kind of clears at the combine for us guys. We, you know, like I said, we wanted to split in 3 different categories and just focus on one. Of course, you know, if we want to throw a couple names out there that, you know, are kind of maybe obvious or kind of guys that we're looking at. I mean, Justin Herbert's going to be a good quarterback for any offense that's going to like scrambling. Of course, you got your CD Lambs of the world. LaVisca had a good combine. Justin Jefferson from LSU.
Right.
Those guys had pretty good showings as well. So expect them to get drafted high as well.
It's going to be a good draft for receivers.
Yeah,
it really is.
Can I just throw some names out there too to look out for? Cameron Brown, Tony Brown is a receiver out of Colorado. Now, when I saw his film, his route running reminded me of Larry. Deceptive speed. You know, he looks slow, but he can catch the ball. He got strong hands. Trayvon Diggs. He is a monster. He's a DB out of Alabama. Watch out for him. And this guy right here who has violent hands and he's slippery as an eel. Out of Penn State. He's a defensive end. Excuse me if I'm saying your name wrong, good brother, but it's Yetur Gross-Matos. The man is a beast. The man is like 6'6", and I see him shoot the gap. If you know anything about shooting the gap and stunts, you got to get there quick. And he'll slip in there and he'll get to the quarterback from A to B in a heartbeat. And the man is strong and he's relentless. And I see him pursue from one end of the field all the way to the other end of the field to make the tackle. So he has a motor. So look out for that man right there.
Got anything else, Don?
Hey, well, before we get into our next segment, I know we talked a little bit earlier about, everything going on in the world right now. Just keep in mind, everybody that's listening, your hometown small businesses.
Yeah.
Because they are going through a lot right now. Depends what state you're in, especially. Dante, we got a good friend, Randy, at the comic book place, Maroon Hornet up in Oxford.
Mm-hmm.
Governor's got them shut down right now. We've had couple meals up there in Oxford at Sawmill Grill. Takeout only, man. They can't get the business coming in.
And we can't forget our guys over at the coffee shop as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also remember, Delawareans, if you're affected by this, you can actually get benefits. Delaware has benefits for you. Of course, you got to call in as if you were unemployed, but they have benefits set up for you if you're affected and you cannot work.
I mean, directly my family is affected by this whole thing. Thank God that me, Don, and Nelson work for a company that we're able to work from home and to pay the bills. So I wish everybody had that luxury. But if this thing gets worse, we could definitely be affected by this whole thing as well. So everybody read up on everything that's going on. Of course, we would never be the first to say that we're medical experts. So ignore the stuff you see on Facebook, first of all.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Don't
That's
touch
the best
your
thing
face.
you can do.
Try to stay out of being in any large crowds or touching doors. Go to the CDC's website, guys. Don't listen to everything you hear or read everything and think that it's true. There's been so much information that's going on. I know that people don't like Trump, but watch the news conferences and make your own opinion about what's going on too. That's the only thing I could say. He's got the experts with him, and just listen to what these people are saying. You're only as good as the information that
that's
you're,
it.
that you're reading.
There's no
and
need,
consuming.
no need, no matter who is president at this point, to politicize this at all. This is not a
This
political
goes way
thing,
beyond
man.
politics at this
Absolutely.
point. So, just know that some things are good. I know that some people are going to be getting checks in the mail, and I know some people are, can file for unemployment, and some small businesses can do their part and and file for certain things that they get relief on as well. So do your research, act accordingly, act now, most importantly.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This whole thing could be like first come, first serve. We're not doing this anymore.
Exactly.
And you got to hand it to a lot of these sports organizations and these players that are making donations. So like the workers in the stadiums and stuff will still get their pay.
I know Joe Rogan's doing something.
It's
with a bunch
really
of his
great.
friends.
Yeah,
and-
Blake Griffin. Who else? I think it was a list of guys they showed on ESPN, but they donated $100,000. I mean, that can cover a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I heard on my way down here, Zach Ertz and Jason Kelsey each put up that money for the Ertz Foundation. It goes to Phil Abundance and everything. So
They get a tax break on it too.
Well, this is true.
But if you're not going to use it, don't lose it to taxes.
Yeah.
Put it towards something that's able to help other people out and get. You reap what you sow, man. You put forth the stuff that you can do and help everybody else out. And unfortunately, we live in we live in a time where you can get tax breaks and tax reliefs for certain things like that. So why not? If you can give and get your tax break in return, it's a win-win for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, everybody do your research. Everybody stay safe. Wash your hands, most importantly.
Yes.
And I know this is going to be a boring time, but enjoy this time with your families
Yes.
too, because this is
Good
one
point.
time where we actually get to conversate and have those meals with their family and spend that time that we might not even get. And from the stories that I'm hearing, man, it's one of those things where this is one time where we're the healthiest out of trying to stay healthy, and now we're staying the healthiest.
Right, and all the wives take advantage of this time too, because you realize sports is not on, so you got your husband's divided attention. Treat them with more love, care, because we're there for you now.
I love
We're
it.
there for you now, right? We don't have nothing
have
in front
no
of us.
excuse.
Yeah, we have no excuse.
So yeah, we just wanted to throw that out there. Let's not forget
Yep.
that this is
Yep.
much bigger than sports, and it's much bigger than this podcast. But hopefully, we're giving you something to listen into during this tough time. So
All right. I want to insert one sports thing here before we get to free agency. What were your thoughts on the very short XFL season?
it's a lot of takeaways.
I think
Yeah.
it got better as it went along.
Correct.
It was beating a lot of other sports in viewership. I
Yeah.
think it
the
has
smartest
potential.
thing that they did was have it right after football.
Yes.
Because now they had the sniper scope on them fully.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't have to worry about stadiums being full or being used during the season. AAF, I'm talking to you. They did it the right way this time.
Yes, they did.
And they weren't making it all about the rah-rah. This is going to be more violent.
Yeah.
This had different rules, and it was actually safer.
Yeah.
If you really look at the statistics, this was a safer football season for them than it was for the NFL.
Yeah, I think, as a fan and looking at, sports, it was a filler. So it just helped me just
Yep.
a little long. It's just like that appetizer before the meal.
There you go.
You got a little appetizer, you got a little taste of football, and it was still football. If you're a football guy, you appreciated that.
Yep.
You still had top tier athletes who were from the NFL or just coming out of NFL, making that league and making decent amount of money, but they was actually playing. They wasn't just out there going through the motions. You could tell these guys really wanted to play. So
Guys, let me tell you, PJ Walker and Cam Phillips are going to be two serious prospects that the NFL are looking into. And thank God that this is happening, because they played such a short season that they're saving their bodies just in case they get called up to the NFL.
Yes.
True.
If they would have played a whole NFL season, it would have been kind of hard for them to step into another position and play right away.
What was
Exactly.
really nice, though, with the XFL, with the contracts they had, not like other leagues that folded and then they don't get paid. They're paying these players for their whole season.
Right.
Yeah. Just another nugget to throw in there before we get to this transaction talk is going to be a big one. I already know. But I was talking to my dad today,
Mm-hmm.
and soccer has these things called regulation leagues, where 3 teams. So let's say there's a European league right now that the top the bottom seeded 3 teams, or no, I'm sorry, the top 3 teams from the secondary league get to move up to the primary league, and those 3 at the bottom move down to the secondary league, right?
Right.
And they're called regulations. That happens every single season. And I was coming up with my dad, and I was like, wow, what they could do in the NFL, and we can get to a deeper talk about this in another time, but I want you to have this on your brain. You know how I said the bottom team
Yes.
in the NFL should play the top team
Right.
from the XFL, and then they switch and
Right.
they win? They should do this every 5 years. That way it's not getting so saturated.
Right.
Then they can't say that teams didn't have a chance to prove themselves, in this short amount of time. In 1 year, it's a lot that could happen.
Yeah.
But you get even deeper than that. You could say over the next 5 years, it's not going to be based off a record. It's going to be where you fell in your division. So each division per position, 1 through 4, right, is in NFL. So like NFC East, for example, 1 through 4. So if the Eagles won out at number 1 for the next 5 years, there's a certain percentage point that it is if you finish in that position. Then you get points by how many playoff games you win, if you win the Super Bowl, and how many Pro Bowl players that you have as well.
Nice.
Get a point
Nice.
percentage. Because now you can say by the Pro Bowl players that I have, the star players that I have, it's good for the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Nobody, people still watch the Browns because they have Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, and Baker Mayfield. You can't really take him back after he's doing all these commercials now.
Right.
But you add all of that together, and it's points at the end of those 5 years, and whoever has the lowest points plays the highest points from the XFL, and then they play a championship game to see where they fall, or either they don't. You just swip them. You switch swap them.
Well, every 5 years we'll be seeing Washington playing the Roughnecks. Washington Redskins versus the Roughnecks.
But it would be amazing to see it like every 5 years. That the regulation time is coming.
Yeah.
It's like another thing to get hyped for.
Right.
And then they put all the points together, and it's like kind of like a live like TV show. And you see where everybody is.
Yeah, that would be great ratings. That would be great for the producers of the XFL, and then it'd be great for the owners to expand their brand when it comes to the XFL. So,
well, you know why it won't happen? Here's the kicker: in Europe, they can do it. In the United States, we have monopoly laws. The top CEO guys will look bad if they have to drop down to the secondary league.
Yeah.
And they do not want that to happen.
Right.
But
they will lose
it's
money.
your fault why you sucked. You should have hired a better GM.
Yeah, they don't want to lose money. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So that was just kind of like we get into a deeper discussion, but I just thought that was interesting that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot soccer has those, regulation leagues. So leading over to these transactions, guys, man, oh man.
Can I say we about to talk about free agency?
Yes, we are.
And whoever Kirk Cousins' agent is, I want him too. When next time I need to get a raise, because that man is making money off of nothing. Right?
I just want to say that the Buffalo Bills might have their receiver finally.
Oh yes,
and Stephon Diggs. We would have been hungry and thirsty for a receiver. I mean, T.O. was nice. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all my old heads, the Andre Reeds and the Don BBs. But Stephon Diggs might be the answer to our woes when it comes to offense. Beasley, thank you for your contribution. I thank you.
They're going to stick him in the slot.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't have a primary responsibility. He can do what he did with the Cowboys.
But if we can get the same production he did with Minnesota Vikings, I will greatly appreciate that.
Yep.
All right? And then we can get Josh Allen stop going out of the pocket and running down the field like a bus. You know what I mean? like a yellow bus, and go ahead and throw the ball to a receiver that he can trust.
He's got the arm strength.
Yeah,
yes, he does.
Let's go, Stephon.
Can break a receiver up. You guys are winning AFC.
Yes.
This year.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're winning your division this year, and it's not even going to be close.
Stay true. It's gonna get cold, Stephon, but stay true to the game, man. Come on, man.
He played in Minnesota. He's fine. Remember,
they
weren't playing in the stadium.
You're right.
He's used to this.
Yeah. Okay.
U.S. Bank Stadium was not built all the way when he was still.
That is so true.
So, yeah, man. Stephon Diggs going to the Bills. That was huge for the Bills.
Yes.
I want to see the Bills finally win a championship.
Yes.
As a fan, I already got my Chiefs out the way. I want to see an old AFL team win again.
Listen, last time he won was back in 1960, man.
And I love. Let me be the first to say, you were one of the last teams with gray face masks. I love the Bills jerseys, dude. Like they've did so much revisions, but I like the way that they have them right now because they're like a little bit of new school and a little bit of old school. I love it. I'm not a Bills fan by any stretch of the imagination.
I am,
but I do like to see new teams do new things.
Yes.
So, that is great for them, and we can't ignore the obvious elephant in the room.
Oh.
I don't think you're thinking about what I'm thinking about. Because I'm more upset about this than that.
Okay.
DeAndre Hopkins going to the Cardinals.
Man.
Ah.
I know. That blew my mind,
peanuts.
man.
Wait a minute. Did I miss? Wait a minute. Did you just say the receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL?
Went to the Cardinals, man. And it was not your high-profile mega deal.
Jalen Ramsey went to the Rams for 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. What's wrong
with that? And DeAndre
that?
Hopkins just got sold for literally the Planters Peanuts show.
Well, that lets me know. That lets me know where there's Arizona Cardinals are thinking, because you got a veteran in Larry Fitzgerald who will bring him in and teach that
it's
man.
It's going to mold him so much versus what he has right now.
Because Larry is so humble, he will step back and say, "Okay, man."
Nelson played with Larry. So you guys know
at Valley Forge, I did play. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but yeah, Larry Fitzgerald. I played with him before he had the dreads. Okay, and he was a monster at Valley Forge Military Academy. But he's one of those guys who is so humble. He's not gonna think, okay, I gotta get the ball. I get the ball. He's gonna have Hopkins say, you know what? I want to mold you into how you to run the routes. I'm going to show you how to catch the ball. I'm going to show you how you get open. He is definitely going to be a great mentor for Hopkins.
I cannot wait to see what happens this year for Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Kyler Murray is like, thank the heavens that this happened. Because Larry's getting old, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can't, I think this would be a great send-off.
Yes.
If they hit the playoffs, win a playoff game, Larry breaks another record, whatever that record might be, and DeAndre Hopkins has an amazing season, the best season that he's had in his career, and DeAndre tells Larry, you taught me more than
Right.
what I had before, because he just got back from learning from Andre Johnson. Remember that?
Yes.
Yep.
Future Hall of Famer.
Right.
And now you're going to Larry, who is statistically like the second or third best receiver that we've ever seen, and the humbleness that he has.
Yep.
Yes.
It's gonna be crazy, man. Like, just what if DeAndre Hopkins had that crazy season, and he tells Larry, "Thanks, man, for everything that you did for me.
And he
this
will.
is the best move of my career."
Yeah, and Hopkins is a humble guy too. I don't know if you listened to his interview. He's real close to his mother.
Yeah, his mom got in that bad accident.
Yeah.
Where she got blinded.
Right. So I think this is an awesome setup. Arizona is thinking about, years down the line. They got a young quarterback, they got a nice receiver, and they got a nice running back too. But it's just
Yeah,
right.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
He just signed a stag today.
Yeah, so they're really thinking about the future. I just hope the Texas
And
coach-
those guys at Arizona are excited, man. I'm not on Twitter, but if you just Google DeAndre Hopkins transactions, all the players that come up, like, Peterson got on there. He was excited. Chandler Jones was excited. Like, everybody's excited to have him on the team, man. Shout out to Deshaun Watson, though. I know you probably rolled over in your bed.
Oh, my
crying,
God.
bro.
yeah,
Can you
man.
Because you
Imagine.
can't depend on Will Fuller. He gets hurt.
No.
He's talented, but he gets
He
hurt
gets
a lot.
Right.
Lamar Miller they might line him up at receiver this season. Lamar Miller's my boy, by the way.
Yes.
I love that guy. So, that transaction was so dumb. And I know they've been shopping him over the last 2 years for some pettiness with Bill O'Brien. What if he gets fired at the end of the season?
Yeah. Exactly.
Then what are the Texans? They better, you know what? Now that they made this transaction, they better keep Bill O'Brien over a 10-year contract like they did John Gruden.
Well,
because he's going to look like a complete idiot that they let something personal get in the way of them winning.
And I'm glad you mentioned up somebody getting fired from the head coach position. Detroit Lions, please, can you fire Patricia, please, for his
Insensitive.
insensitive comment to one of the best D backs that went to the Eagles.
One of the best defensive backs that just play the game.
Yep.
Now the Eagles, you just gave them a gift.
It was a gift.
And that was one of the things that they really needed was a receiver and a cornerback.
Yeah.
Now they got an all-pro guy.
Yep.
Darius Slay is the man, dude. I was excited for the Eagles when I saw that. And like I said, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I was excited for him.
Now, you realize he led the league in interceptions all these last 3 years. So why would you even your best defensive player, why would you even make him mad?
What was that stat you told me the other day, Don? It was something crazy.
Yeah, let me find. I sent that to you, man.
Like, he only gave up like 2 60-yard passes or something, and that was his his rookie year.
He's given up 2 catches over 50 yards in 6,030 snaps in his career, and both were in his rookie year. He's given up 0 in the last 6 seasons.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
That's amazing, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to hit Nelson's elephant in the room that he thought I was talking about.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Tom Brady going to the Bucs. Who the hell saw this coming? It's not a coincidence that they're making new jerseys this year for the Buccaneers. And let me go down this list real quick. Why do the Browns need new jerseys? I like the ones that they have right now, but apparently they're getting new ones. The Buccaneers, they look like alarm clocks. If you really look at them, they look like alarm clock numbers.
Yeah.
They supposedly their new design is going back to the Mike Allstott days where it was that old brown and dark burgundy red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently they're going to like a design like that again.
Are they all going to wear number 12?
No, right? You might as well.
Chris Godwin said that he's willing to give up his number for Tom Brady.
I know. I couldn't believe that.
That's a great gesture.
That
Yeah.
is a great
But he
gesture.
said he's pretty married to that number.
He
though.
is.
But he would defer to Tom Brady.
This is what I think, man. Because a lot of these NFL players, and you see that in the NBA too. Once they get older, they're trying to find a place to retire. And who does not want to retire in Florida? I mean, older folks go there to retire. Now, him and Giselle, I think they're worth more than like close to $500+ million. So
And 75% of that is her income.
yeah. So I think Tom is a smart guy, man. He's thinking like I got my boys, you know, I got my wife. I need somewhere to settle down and just kind of coast out in the sun. Now, granted, he got about 2 years left, I think.
Right.
About 2 years left. And Jameis Winston, I feel you, man, but you just didn't. You had your time, man. And if you're gonna learn, wait a minute, is he still there though?
He pretty much
he
put out
said
that
goodbye.
he was about to leave.
About to leave.
Yeah.
But I that wouldn't be a smart move, because if you think about it, Jameson, you could stay there, learn from Tom Brady, to see the man's vision down, and you know, because he can read defenses. He even
Bruce Arians is the best person for
Right.
him, and then having Tom Brady there, dude, that's
Yeah.
a match made in heaven. Just sit out of here.
Yeah, so Jameson, just realize this, humble yourself, man. I know you're a first rounder. I know you got your guaranteed money, and I know you can leave, but just stay there and learn from the GOAT. Learn how to play the game, learn how to read defenses, learn how to
True
adjust.
freshman that won the Heisman,
Yeah.
got a national championship.
Right.
We know that you had all these
Right.
accolades,
And
man.
and then you can have 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Okay, I understand that. That's like I don't know how you
he
did
won
that.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I don't even know how you did that. But look, just stay there, man, and learn from the GOAT. To put your pride aside, and you'll be
Learn
better
how to
for it.
lead. You had the leadership qualities. We've seen it at Florida
Yeah.
State. You just need the intangibles cleaned up.
Yes.
I mean, we don't need this eating fried chicken like a W and all. Like,
Right.
we don't
Stop
need
looking
all
at your
this
finger.
anymore.
Now here's something out of the box thinking with Tom Brady going to Tampa. Okay, different sport altogether. All right, the WWE has their performance center down there in Florida, right?
Okay.
They just signed Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, Don, you a genius, man. Look at that. Look at that.
Tom wants to be near his boy to Gronk.
Oh,
You're gonna bring them back. Hey, Grunk.
that is all. You know what, man? And then I'm throw it out here. Disclaimer: Antonio Brown lives in Florida. He's a Florida boy.
Here we go.
And you know who stayed at his house?
Dude, I can honestly see him going to the Bucks. Imagine that though.
Oh.
Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and then in a slot, Chris Godwin. We already know what Tom Brady can do with talented receivers, and now you got three.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
Antonio Brown comes, and
Right.
Antonio Brown has already said, "Tom is my boy. That's who I want to.
Yep.
That's who I want to play with." Every receiver said that. If they can get Odell Beckham Jr. in a trade,
Oh my
he
gosh.
already said he wants to play with Tom. Dude,
Yeah.
I can see so many things happening now that Tom Brady, and they got the cap space, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the cap space now. Gerald McCoy ate up a lot of that, and he ain't been with them for 2 years now.
Right. Yeah. So I don't see them as contenders, but they're definitely in the hunt. You know, I can see them going.
Who they have? Philip Barber is their running back, and he's trash.
Oh, wait a minute. Philip Barber? No, did he make the Pro Bowl? Hold up.
I don't think Philip Barber made
Hold
it.
on, hold on.
I think
Wait a minute. Let me see here, because somebody.
He had an up and down season. He was not. He got
was
better
not
as
good.
the season went on, but
Okay.
he.
Melvin Gordon should have went there.
Yeah. Now Melvin Gordon ended up
He
with
went
the
to the
Broncos,
Broncos.
man.
Yeah. And what is up with that? I mean, the Broncos? Like, what?
A
That-
lot of teams
so
do that,
is he
man.
going
If
to-
you really think about it? Inter division
So
trades happen
does
all
he
the
split
time.
Yeah.
time with Philip Lindsay then?
That's a good question.
You know.
I forgot Philip Lindsay was
Yeah.
there. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. I was like, don't they have a running back?
That's right.
Oh man, why would you do this?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Maybe Von Miller has something to do with that.
And then are we trying to do a quarterback controversy with the Raiders because they got Marcus Mariota?
I
don't know, man. I think
Yeah.
Mariota. John Gruden was really big on Mariota when he was
Yes, he
coming out
was.
of college.
Yes, he was.
And he's not so big on what's
Derek
his name?
Carr.
Derek Carr.
I know.
Yeah.
I see this happening as like Mariota's gonna win a starting job, and then they're gonna shop depending on how they do up to the week 6 when the trade deadline comes.
Yeah.
Let's get Derek Carr out here and get somebody that we actually need.
Yeah.
I can see that happening, man. I don't know. That's totally weird. I think it's totally weird that the Panthers released Eric Reed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was totally content being there. But I'm not sure, man.
They got themselves a quarterback though.
The Steelers placed Ryan Shazier on the reserve list again.
Yes, I saw that.
Hey, man.
Are they expecting him to make a comeback?
But, that's testament to the Pittsburgh Steelers that even though this man was pretty much can't be able to walk and had to go through therapy, they still realize that he's a man and he has a life and that he needs also, financial, for his family. So you kept him on and still paying him, and potentially, if you look at him, he was not walking.
Right.
Now he's walking. Yep. And that's just a testament to Pittsburgh organization. They really care about their players. They're not just a number. And the fact that he's on, it was an injured reserve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can still get paid on his reserve. But the fact that they're doing that, this is my hats are off to them for not looking at him as just another player, but they're looking at as the man and the fact that he needs help at this time. So that was awesome.
So not the fact to throw this conversation in a loop, but I did not see this. I almost threw my headset down. AJ Boye from Jacksonville went to the Broncos, though, for a 4th-round pick. Are we serious right now?
A 4th-round pick. Now, what did it take to get him there? Oh, man, that is just crazy.
What the hell is going on, Jacksonville? Y'all just want to lose forever.
Yeah, you get rid of Ramsey. Yeah, Ramsey.
And now AJ Boye.
Now, they did put the franchise tag on Yannick, right?
Yes, but Yannick does not want to be there.
No, he doesn't. Man, he's been tweeting Eagle stuff, man.
So, going back to your franchise tag talk,
Yeah.
I believe they can trade him before the season starts.
Okay.
They can't trade him during the season.
Right.
Which means the preseason,
Yeah.
by the way.
Now, back
Man,
to
Yannick's like, I don't want to be there, so why
I
don't you
know.
friend? But Yannick is a beast, though,
he
man.
is. Can you imagine
Yes.
him? Oh, my gosh.
Teams want him bad.
Yep.
Why didn't they just... I would have just traded him and got somebody that we actually need, man. Like, I mean,
he's going to command a 1st-round pick, whether it's this year or next year. It depends on what they'll go for, but, I mean...
Yeah, so, and I understand what y'all talking about, but what really shocked me, and he deserves it, but Terry Bridgewater to the Panthers.
Dude, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Panthers fans. Listen, Panthers fans.
Yes.
Slade, I know you hear me, bro. Cam Newton is not the person that you need on your team right now.
Right.
No.
You guys got a new coach. Teddy Bridgewater is so smart.
Yeah, he's perfect for this. You see what he did
You
with the
can
Saints.
mold him into whatever that you need as long as you
Yep.
keep him healthy.
Yes.
Cam Newton's time in Carolina is I'm sorry to say it's over, man.
Yeah, we're just waiting to see if your prediction comes through,
Dude,
Dante.
I believe.
Wait, hold on. What was it again that you're going to have him go
Man,
to?
I don't know. I see in the crystal ball, like,
Oh,
Mason Rudolph is not the dude. Doug Hodges is not the guy.
Oh, really?
Ben Roethlisberger and Cam Newton have a quarterback competition in the preseason. Cam Newton wins. Ben Roethlisberger understands what he needs to be the backup for Cam Newton. And 5 games, they're going to win 5 games in a row, and Cam Newton on week 6 is going to have the most jerseys sold in the NFL. Steelers fans are going to hate it at first, but they're going to love Cam Newton.
Dante has been saying this forever.
But
Mike
listen.
Tomlin is the player's coach.
He is
and
the player's
he's gonna
coach.
Let Cam be Cam.
But I'm going to have to counter because Ben Roethlisberger ego is not going to allow him to have Cam Newton come in there and try to win a position, a spot. Cam
feeds off of competition.
Yeah, he
more
does.
than
He does.
anything.
He does, and he's hungry. He's been out for a whole season. But what I'm telling you right now, Ben Roethlisberger is not going to allow it to happen because of the relationship he has with Mike Tomlinson and the fact that he's knowing that if he comes back, he's a starter. And the reason why he left is because he got hurt. But still, when he comes back, he's like, look, and he got rid of the drama in Antonio Brown. I mean, he still got Juju. He still has what is that receiver? I just mentioned. I hope he still has him out of Kent State. Adair. What's his name? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna get your name right.
That's important.
Dre Archer. I think he
Dre
still has
Archer.
it. So I think Ben realized it's his time without any drama, drama free, and he can get back to where he did his rookie year when he had the leader in Jerome Bettis. That was a safe time, and I think he's feeling that safe time again. So. And he got this big, huge beard. I don't know if you saw him on Instagram. He posted a video.
Yeah, I saw that beard.
Real
man.
huge
I'm
beard.
like, dude, aren't you a lineman?
So I don't know, man. I hear you, and I hope that does happen. But Ben is not gonna allow that to happen. He has his own burger in Pittsburgh.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just think instead of just being loyal
Mm-hmm.
it's all about win now, and I don't
Yeah.
see them winning with Ben Roethlisberger, man. You sat out a whole year because of injury to your arm,
Yeah.
which is your main weapon.
That's it.
And Ben Roethlisberger ain't gonna be running like he used to, man. Like,
Yeah.
but Mike Tomlin,
Right.
reach out to your boy Ken, bring him in, and be like, I'm gonna let you do whatever you want to do, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine how fun it would be to see two guys that love playing football. Put aside what you think about Cam for a second, but when he's on the field and he's winning and he's out there having fun and he has no restrictions,
Man.
that's one of the funnest guys to watch.
It
I don't know if you guys ever seen that clip where the guy was on the other side of the ball and he was like, I've been watching film. He's like, you've been watching film? Okay, watch this.
Yes.
And then he threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I did see that.
So, last thing before we close out, guys. There's so many transactions that we can go through, but I think this one is the most important. Todd Gurley getting cut by the Rams and getting signed to the Falcons.
What? Now this is a setup because if you realize, where did Todd Gurley went to school? Georgia. All right. Where's
I didn't even put that two and two together.
Yeah,
That's true.
Where's Atlanta? Georgia. So this man is probably saying, you know what? Thank God I'm back in my
Back
hometown.
in the red and black, baby.
Right, and I can just go out and just play my game. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to. And then Matt Ryan, he needs somebody back there to make his stats look a little better than what it really is. And we know Matt is not really, at his peak. He was nice, and then of course he has that plummet Super Bowl loss. That's going to be on his record.
I know that people listen to this and know that I'm not a big Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
fan,
but the fact that he has a running back now that kind of can mask his flaws, hand the ball off to him, get a first down here and there, and then throw a couple passes. I mean, you still got Julio Jones, my guy.
But
Come on,
why
man.
wouldn't I see why they got rid of Devontae Freeman? I totally get it. He couldn't stay healthy, especially his last.
Neither can Hurley.
Exactly. That's why I have a question mark over this pick, and why I think it could be either super important to their success or be their ultimate demise. Because Todd Gurley is not healthy as what we think he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they would sign somebody like Gurley, but testament to Gurley, people know his potential,
Yes.
and he will be able to open up that passing game just like he did for. And it's funny that he went from Jared Goff to Jared Goff.
Yep.
Because Matt Ryan is Jared Goff 1.0. And
Yes,
Jared
yes.
Goff is Matt Ryan 2.0.
Yes. You said it. Ben.
If he opens up that passing game, and he can do it because he can catch the ball out of the backfield,
Yes, he can.
Julio Jones might be a 3,000-yard receiver this year.
Yeah. And I hope that he does it well. But go ahead, Don.
No, I saw this earlier today, and I kept it so we could talk about it when we got to Todd Gurley. The Falcons' offense now has 10 former first-round picks who are projected to be starters in 2020.
Mm.
Can you imagine? They got Matt Ryan, they got Todd Gurley,
Yep.
Julio Jones,
Yep.
Calvin Ridley,
Yep.
Hayden Hurst.
Yep. That's a
left
tight end, right?
Yep. Left tackle Jake Matthews.
Jake Matthews. Yeah, he's a beast.
Guard James Carpenter. Center Alex Mack. Yep.
Yeah.
Right guard Chris Lindstrom, and then tackle Caleb McGarry.
Matt Ryan, you better be glad you have two great offensive linemen because they're making you seem wonderful.
Didn't
And
Ja-
your receivers.
Isn't Jack Matthew out of Michigan? The left
Jake
tackle?
Matthews.
Yeah.
I forget which school he goes
I
to.
think he was
just
out of
know-
Michigan.
I just know he's an absolute monster.
Yeah, he is.
So with that being said, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close up the show for today.
It was just getting good, man.
Oh man, it's just getting great. But you know how we like to do here at the Go for Two. We like to give you a good flavor in your ear for about an hour to dip in and dip out. This is
That's
not
it.
Joe Rogan's podcast, so if you want a 3-hour show, go watch him. He's definitely not gonna be talking about football though. But hopefully we hit every important topic over these last couple of weeks, guys. We cannot stress enough. Please stay safe out there.
Next month episode is going to be all about the draft.
All about the draft, guys. Yeah, if
That
this
is
Corona
it.
thing clears up, expect a episode here on the next month. Maybe sooner if we can, if there's enough news to talk about, we might be talking about doing it a little sooner. But expect Nelson to be a regular, man, or either just might be part of the Go for Two podcast family.
Hey, I'm
Sounds
with it,
good to
man.
me,
I'm with
man.
it.
This has been super fun. I think 3 of us is a good thing. We'll try to get some more guests on that want to talk football. I know Randy's always a good one to talk to. Anybody that might be interested that knows us, let us know. 4 perspectives is better than 1. So, but like I said, everybody, every show, every time that we do this, is never a gimme. You always got to go for 2. We'll see you later.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Go for Two podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Anchor to keep up with the latest releases, news, and updates on the guys and all the current football news. If you liked what you heard and don't want to miss an episode, find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, and Spotify.